it in any other way. Mentally, are they? Mentally, what are they? Can we go? Mentally, older adults they have memory loss and narrow-minded. Okay, so Zachariah says that they have memory loss and they are narrow-minded. They are slow to think and then they are forgetful. Okay, so they are forgetful, slow to think, and then narrow-minded. Experience severe and complex mental health problems. They experience severe and complex health problems. And then Maxwell is saying that depression and anxiety. Why depression and anxiety, Maxwell? Okay, maybe when we get to those points where we are discussing them in class, we would have to explain it further. Think like kids. Think like kids. Feeling of social isolation. They suffer dementia. Wow. So the mental aspect is a lot, right? They suffer dementia. Okay. 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 So that's it. So I think we can go further. How many older adults do you know personally? We can get about 3 responses from here, 3 or 4 responses. How many older adults do you know personally? For me personally, my mom is still there. My dad is there. And well, those are the people I'm so close with. Apart from that, for the extended, I'm not so close to them so much. So I know of 2 personally. 2, yes. Who else will add on? Wow, Asante Jesse, more than 30. That's great. They have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of learning also to do so you can go and then treat them well, right? Then Juliana is saying depression because they cannot do the things they did before. That's the mental aspects. How do you feel mentally they are? Okay, that's great. Abdullah is also saying 45. Wow. Wow, that's great. That's great. Okay. So do you think they are old? Do you think they are old? Those you know, do you think they are old? Okay, somebody, Amponsa Doka saying 35. Joy is saying 4. Whoa, 4. Okay. I think, Joy, I'll know the reason why you're saying 4, right? And then, so do you think they are old? So for me, yes, they are old. Yes, they are old. What about you? Do you think they are old? Those you know. Very, very, right? My grandma more than 90 years old. You are blessed. Yes, very old. Those I know are very old. That's great. And Elizabeth is also saying, yes, they are old. That's great. Do they consider themselves old? That's the question. You are saying they're old. For me, for instance, my mother, whenever I call her Yabrewa, the way she would insult me, that she's not Abrewa. I like saying those things. What is that? What is that? Do I know an Abrewa? Do you are you an Abrewa? So they don't. Yes, no, they don't. They will never. Yes, that's true. They are not considering themselves old. That's true. And so you know the trend. If you are saying they are old, they are not considering themselves old. No, how are we going to care for them? How? Actually, they don't agree they are old. Yes, they don't. They live in denial, right? Then how do you personally define old? So for us, how would we define old? They denied their old Abroa and okay, wow. How would you define old? How would you define old? Okay. So my grandpa is 88 and he still feels he's young, having lived for a long time. So old, so I think that would be one of the definition, right? Daniel or Dami is saying that having lived for a long time. Yes, it can be. Definition is as your own perspective. What you think is old. It is not wrong, it's not right, please. So what do you think is old? So having lived for a long time, yes, who else? Having existed for a specific period of time, yes. But as for instance, we can say we are old, right? Depending on the people or the audience, depending on your audience, you can say, oh, I'm old. Yes, so I like these definitions, having lived for a long time, having existed for a specific period of time. Yes, who else will add on a different thing, a different idea? Having existed for a specific period of time. All right, so we can still move on. Why is aging an issue today? Why? What do you think? So Lizzie says when one advances in age. Why do you think aging is an issue today? Okay, Elizabeth, you can talk.
Mr. Please, I think it has become an issue today because of the burden it poses on the younger ones and the family members, the rest of the family
Okay.
members, and um, um, the health problems it comes along with. That is why it has become a problem. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so thank you. So Elizabeth is saying that because of the burden it tends to become on the younger ones and the family members, and also the health issues that comes up with it. Okay. Then Millicent is also saying because of the diseases and neglect that comes with it. That is why aging is an issue today. Can we get something positive? Even though we say it's an issue, but it can be positive. There's these positive things coming out of that. That is why it's an issue where we have to really talk about. So the stereotyping, of course, when you are old, yeah, the stereotyping, yes, because of the dependency on others and then the fear of death, yes. So all these things are factors why it's an issue. So what about the positive aspect? It is an issue because of what? Positively, what is happening? Yes, Juliana.
Sister, I feel that sometimes they have some of the knowledge they were not able to impart to
Okay.
others. So at least if they are well taken care of, they can impact that knowledge before they die off.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So Juliana is saying that they have something they really want to share, but they're not able to do that. So if care is taken, they are well taken care, they are well taken care of, yes, of course, and then they are okay. They still live longer or a bit like have a bit of strength. They will still have that zeal to talk to us, advise us. Mostly people say that whoever lives with his or her grandmother or grandfather always have this kind of impenyism, like they can really talk like an adult, like a grown person, mature person. And so I think these are some of the things. Elizabeth?
Yes, that sometimes apart from they being a burden, they also give us a kind of help at home. Sometimes
Okay.
you see that everybody will leave the house, but the older
Yes.
ones will stay at home for us. And you will
Mm-hmm.
be busy, so busy that you cannot get someone to take care of your children when you are away. But you see that your grandmother will be there to take care of them for you.
Yes.
And there are some things, as my sister said, there are some knowledge, there are some skills they have. And when you lack them, you go to them, they can give you at free will.
Yes.
Yes, especially the way some food is being prepared and sometimes. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they are of help. It's not
Yes.
always that they are burden.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you too. So Lizzie is saying that they impact us a lot. They help us a lot. Of course, the mothers around the females will really testify to that. And then some of the men as well also testify to that. Yes, they really help us in so many ways. So many ways. I have an experience this Christmas. My house nearly got burnt. There was fire. And then, fortunately or unfortunately, my mom was home with my kids. So at least sometimes I go out and I leave just my kids at home because, of course, I have no helper. But then with the Christmas, she came around. So that at least in a way saved us. Called and then we rushed and then we came and took the fire extinguisher and then the right thing was done. So if imagine was only the kids at home, what would have happened? So that's great, Elizabeth. Thank you. Maxwell is saying that I had an experience, a 67-year-old adult at the facility, difficult to breathe and diarrhea, and had diarrhea without a history of any respiratory disease. This man insists that someone is killing him for his cocoa. Oh, Maxwell, for his cocoa farm. Okay. So what happened? And after the deliberations, I asked him, have you recently sprayed your cocoa? And he responded, yes. I then ignored, Maxwell, please behave. So Jane is also saying that they help us take, yes, care of our kids, yes. And then they are lively and lovely to be with. So their absence, sometimes when they are there, you fight with them, but when they go, you start crying. We seek advice from them. They have lived experience. Yes, they have lived experience. Aging as a normal and natural part of life is an indicative of good health. Yes, so they are there. Yes. Oh, yes, that's great. I was saved. They also act as great role models. Yes, Stanley. Yes, so you'll be the last, and then we move on to the next. Stanley. Okay, so they are conservative. Yes, that's great. So should laws be changed to reflect today's longer life expectancy? That shows that if you read the articles I sent, you realize that right from some years down the lane, now, even though before me reading a lot about gerontology, I was hearing people saying, oh, now people are dying. Now, the rate at which the elder or the older ones were living longer, now it's not happening. But that is not true. Read research or evidence-based articles, you realize that now is the time there are a lot of older persons living who are not dying. Maybe rather it's the young ones that are dying, but the older ones, they are living. Because of what? We'll find out soon. So should laws be changed to reflect today's longer life expectancy? Should they be so? Because as at now, I think some years back, we learned that, I don't know whether it's still there, I don't know. National health insurance, for instance, if you are old, you go, it's free. I don't know if it's still there. Or should there be any addition? Should there be something else? For instance, you see a lot of our nurses who are going on retirement or who have even retired, and you ask yourself, so this strong person, is she going to stay at home or what? So should there be a bit of change to reflect today's longer life expectancy? You say your answer yes or no, and then a bit of reasoning to that. Yes, Sister Lizzie.
Yes, sister, I think it's yes, especially
Okay.
concerning their economic status.
Okay.
Something would have to be done about it because mostly when they are old, there's nothing they can do much economically. So they will mostly be home. And some of them too, it's unfortunate their kids are not well to do and they are not able to take care of them well. So the government will have to, I think, come in and then be taking care of them financially when they are older. You give them something at the end of the month so that they can take care of themselves. And with the national health insurance concerning their health, I think they are still paying. Mom, it's there that they don't pay for the insurance. But when they come to the hospitals, you see the reality on the ground. You have to pay a top up before you get all your medications. So sometimes it doesn't cover everything. So I think those laws have to be amended so that it can cover them all. And then I think that will help them live longer and longer. Thank you.
Thank you too. That's great. Yes. So laws should be amended, right? Yes. Majority are poor. Yeah. Majority even go on retirement and they sometimes don't even know where to go and live because they have lived in government houses for those number of years. They are now going to leave those government houses to go and rent a place. And then they take all their retirement or pension, whatever benefits for that. So there should be things that needs to be done. Okay, so yes, the LEAP program should be reviewed in terms of the monthly stipend is too meager. All right. Okay, then that's great because even the monthly that's monthly whatever they give them, it's nothing. Nothing. We have to invest towards that. Yes, yes, yes. So around the day or around this course, you realize that we are not learning just for even for our patients or our parents, but also for ourselves. What are you doing for yourself when you finally reach that stage? Are you going to depend on your kids? You and I know that even currently, we are not really as much as those some years back taking care of our parents as we should. How much more those we are bringing forth now? In some years to come, are they going to take care of us? You think that proverb where they say you have to I gave birth to you for whatever your teeth to grow or whatever. They have some tree account proverb. So you also have to take care of me for all the tooth or whatever to fall off. You think in some years to come, these young ones of today will go by that? So afterwards, we are going to know if we are also going to sit back and wait till our kids will come and take care of us. Okay. So the last bit here, a person can be considered old when I think we've answered that in a way already, when they are weak, when they are vulnerable, when they are there were a lot of things that were raised, yes. They are fragile, they can't do anything for themselves. When I think about getting older, so that is for us. When you think about getting older, what happens? So Dumba Martin is saying government should take care of their medical bills as well, provide aged homes to care for them. But all these things will also come with money. And if we are not also in support, what else? But of course, that's the right thing to be done. When I think about getting older, I do what? Measure one will say if you want so yeah, sort of yes. Also measure one will say to like that thing let's see if some years to come it will happen. I get scared. I get sober or I sober. Okay. I become scared. So when I think about getting older, yes, you become scared. What again? What do you think of? Are you happy? Fear grips me. Daniel is also saying that fear grips him. What else? Who is not happy? And who is happy when he thinks of becoming older? I get worried. Elizabeth is also saying worried. Who else has something else about being happy when you are getting older? You're not happy when you're getting older, eh? Yes, Elizabeth Japan. Hey, now the second Elizabeth is now talking. You feel left everything on the first Elizabeth. So you wouldn't get
Okay,
anything
sister,
from
please.
me. Yes.
Hello, sister.
Yes. Yes, Elizabeth.
Please, when getting old, actually, when some people are getting old, they are happy because they have been able to take very good care of their kids. They are well to do. There's no much burden on them.
Okay.
They have grandchildren. They are successful in life. So even you growing older is a blessing for you. So most of them they become happy when growing old.
I'm talking
So
listen,
that
I'm
is
talking
my
about you. No, you. When you
yes,
think
sister.
about
Yes,
getting
me when I'm getting older.
uh-huh.
Getting old is actually a blessing, and then I'm happy getting old.
Okay. That's great. All right.
Definitely, definitely I will get old one day. So
Definitely right. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
yes,
Thank you.
so I
And
have accepted it, and we are moving on.
that's great. I like that positive feeling. Okay, so thinking about Abukari saying that thinking about old age makes me okay. Kenneth is saying always happy, that's great. Akoka, okay. Please wait, that one I can't read. Then I become sad because I can't go places I used to go. All right. Thinking about old age makes me have mood swings. Yeah, sometimes. Yes, yes, yes. But I will always be happy when I prepare well before older age catches me. That's great. If you prepare well, then you'll be happy. As Elizabeth Japan said, yes, if you know you've taken good care of your kids, your family-wise, everything is on point, then what else? Definitely you grow old. I cry whenever I'm celebrating my birthday. It seems I'm gradually dying soon. Yeah, but for that, initially I was doing that as well. Whenever it's my birthday, I'm like, I'm so moody. But of late, Charlie, life goes on. So I cry, yeah. So I've said that no dirty December. Oh, please. So Jesse, seeing old people gets me scared. How fast time flies and many things I have to do. Yes, yes. There are lots we have to do. I become more focused on my life plans and act seriously for a great future. So that would have to tell us that we are just entering another year. What are we doing for ourselves? We'll be completing our degree BSc nursing in some few about 4 or 5 months. Yeah, 4 months from now, you'll be done with school, done with everything. Would we just close our books and go and sit at home? Or we'll have to do something better for ourselves to prepare us for the future. That's something we have to really ponder over. Yesterday, I was talking to one of my friends who have gone to the US, and then she spent like 5 years or like between 5 and 7 years there. Now she has her own building, her own house in the US. I'm like, wow. You see, so now you are self-accomplished. What else do you want? Unless now it's about you and your God. Yes, because what else? So now, if you wouldn't want to work anymore, you have your savings, you have your house, you have your family, you have your investments. Now you can grow in peace. But what if you don't have anything? You are still relying on the Ghana government's 2,000 Ghana cedis or whatever they give in a month. You can just imagine. Let's do something for ourselves, please. So with this, we have a specialty also called gerontological nursing. If you want to, after BSc, want to go further, then you can also do that. I was searching for that if there is this GCNM, Ghana College of Nurse and Midwives, their program, if they are doing the gerontological nursing, but I didn't see it. I don't know if anyone has idea about that. But of course, in the developed countries and other places, they are doing that as specialties, and it will add on to the money you are going to receive, your salary and everything, and then builds you up as well. Builds you up as well. So that's it. It's where important of this comes in. We pray we plan well so that we have a sense of integrity when age catches up with us. Let us start now and stop the thinking about society and then what somebody will have to say if you want to do something better for yourself. Sometimes you want to rely on other people's opinions. I want to do this. Is it right? Really? For you, what do you want to do as a person? These are some of the things so that in the future, you're not going to regret, oh, I should have done this because my other friend, my other sister, my other brother, my husband, my wife said I shouldn't do, I didn't do. And that is where the Erickson's despair comes in. Joyce, right? Joyce Tema, don't worry. We'll talk about the Erickson's theories in some weeks to come.
Yes,
All
sister.
right. Growing older means, I think that one too, we've talked about it. When I get older, I will lose my, what would you lose? What would you lose? When I get older. For me, I think I'll lose my teeth because my mother has lost some of her teeth. So that is what I'm really planning on. I'm saving money so that I can, okay, yes, so Calvin is also saying teeth. Gloria is also saying teeth, yes. So now I have a friend who is a dentist, and yes, the way I'm doing because I know that in future I have to really go to him to take care of me. Yes, so you lose feelings. Oh my dear, my strength and teeth. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so seeing an older, so Calvin is also saying hair as well. Oh, there are wigs. I mean, that is why I have even started cutting off my hair, so that if I'm losing my hair, no one will see that. I'll just wear wigs or I'll just cut my hair. So that's it. Seeing an older person makes me feel, how do you feel? I think it's in a way we've said something like that, scared, happy. That is about you when you are growing older. How do you feel? But it's almost the same thing. Seeing an older person makes me feel. Libido will go low, cry. That one, it depends. So Elizabeth, it depends. Sometimes your libido will go low. Some other times it would just escalate, very much. It would really escalate. So it depends. It depends. Yes. All right. So seeing an older person makes me feel, but some of whatever we've said, a lot of them are myths that we've heard. That, hey, if you are older or if you grow older, this will happen, this will happen. Very soon we learn about the myths and then the facts of aging. All right. So older people always, so for me, I would say they talk too much, right? They talk. What do you have to say? Older people, they always do what? Is there anything different to add on? They forget, they nag. Yes, they forget. That's true. And then they nag. Yes. I think that's better than the talking that I said. They didn't sleep early. Talking is their hobby. They feel bored. Okay. Okay. Then older people they never do it. They never sinned though. They never did anything wrong. Is that it? Or there's something different? They never, yes, of course, they never listen to young ones as well. Yes, that's true. They're always right. They lack ideas. Yeah, they never lack, yes, 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 yes. That's true. They always have something to say to us. And if we really listen to them, it's really take us a long way. Have that sense of emptiness. Okay, then care providers, all right. The best thing about aging will be what? The best thing about aging, they wake up very early. Small freedom is a natural phenomenon. Okay, okay. And then it's a blessing. Okay, it's a blessing. Some to away have petty, they don't like to punish children. Yes, 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 yes. That aspect is a whole lot. If you leave your kids to them, one or the other, they say they are their grannies, their grandkids, so they want to pamper them. The worst thing about aging also is what? The worst thing. Having not to think of waking up early for work. So that's the best, right? Yes. The worst is to die. To die. To die. What else? The fear of death. Yes. Being called a witch. Oh, that's also another thing. That's also another thing in our part of the world here, right? Yes. Yes. Thinking eventually of death. Yes. Fear of sickness. Okay. Okay. So that's it. The worst thing about aging. And so some of us that we still have our parents around, sometimes when they are sick, for me, for instance, when my mom calls me, I'm just scared. I want to easily pick up and see what is happening to her. Because she's far in Eastern Region, Koforidua there. And I'm here. And so she comes whenever you get it. So she's alone there as well. So when she calls me, I'm like, wow, wherever I want to pick up. Sometimes you just pick up and it's non-far. The things she'll just tell you, I'm like, you just scared me. So sometimes we that we are even away from them, the kids, we also have that kind of fear. That fear. If somebody calls and tell you, oh, your mom is in the hospital, your dad, and you're afraid, you want to quickly go and then meet them. You get it? They talk too much and like complaining. That's true. Looking back at all our responses, you feel that aging is what? Looking back at all our responses, in a nutshell, what is aging? In a nutshell, what is aging? And your definition of aging, you just write it down. Next week, when we meet, we would really see if whatever we said about aging is right or wrong. And of course, even the definition of aging also is based on your concept. So there is no right. It's like you defining critical thinking. It wouldn't necessarily be a right or wrong answer, unless it's a myth or a fact. It's about Ashoye, right? And it's a blessing in one's life, okay? It's a transition from younger age to the advanced age. Yes, I like your response, Jessie. It's a transition from a younger age to the advanced age. All right, that's great. Let me just stop sharing here and then go to our course outline. Please, can you see the screen? Is it shared? No? Okay. So Elizabeth's a blessing, right? A blessing in the screen. So when we read our article and then we saw that the older adults are about 6.7% in Ghana here, the Ghana statistics also revealed that the elderly population that's 60 years older in those articles, that's what they wrote, 60 years and older has increased almost about 10 times in the past 60 years. From a little over 200,000 in somewhere in 1960 or so to almost about 2 million, as one of you rightly said, rightly said, in 2021 with that census. Okay? Then these same reports also, they indicate also that about 1/5 of that number are about 80 years and older. About 1/5 of that number are 80 years and older. And then 1 out of every 4 elderly is poor. In our part of the world here, 1 out of every 4 elderly is poor. I think it's not so bad. If 1 out of 4 is poor, then it's not so bad. A little over 1/3 is employed. From the 60 and above, some of those aged or those elderly, when they go on retirement, they still want to go and look for other avenues because they feel that when they stay at home, that's rather let them grow older the more, and then they will feel weak. I'm sure most of us have those kind of experience where our parents wouldn't want to stay at home. Even if you want them to stay at home and even give them that monthly money, they would want to go and work. or they'll say, then open some shop for me or something for me. I don't want to stay at home. Our dear mother, Florence Nightingale, our own Florence Nightingale, whenever we go nursing, you still would want to talk about Florence, right? And there's one called Doreen Norton as well. They provided early insights into nursing. They provided early insights into the gerontological nursing or the care of the aged. So ideally, Nightingale was truly the first gerontological nurse. Yes, it has been written because she accepted the nurse. I think that's how they call it nurse superintendent or something. That position, nurse superintendent position. So, okay, sorry for that. She accepted that, and then she was able to nurse the aged. As at that time, in those that English place where she was. Currently, those ones are now the ones they call the nursing homes. So she accepted and then took care of these aged. Then later, that Doreen Norton, she summarized, as in like all the geriatric or gerontological nursing bits in those years. Between the 1950s, 1960s. Ideally, there's an article during Norton 1956 gerontological nursing. You can go and search for that and then read. So she summarized all these things into a speech at an annual conference, and then she focused her career on gerontological nursing as in the care of older adults, geriatric nursing. So now I've mentioned two major theories named here. So that Florence Nightingale will be the first, okay, so the course code is 422 from the time. Right, please, I would verify and then get back to you before I send the course outline to you, okay? Thank you very much. Right, so Florence Nightingale was the first geriatric nurse. And then Doreen Norton, she made it sort of a specialty, right? She made it a specialty, and then she took the care of older adults upon herself. So she wrote about these unique needs of older adults and the nursing care for them as well. And even I sought for or identified these advantages of including geriatric nursing care in our nursing curriculum. So she in 1956 with that article, as it has been stated, did all these things where we have to inculcate gerontological nursing in our nursing curriculum. So that at least as a nurse, you would know that, oh, you learn a bit about patience, tolerance, understanding, and then the basic nursing skills where you have to take care of the aged, if you get it. Apart from the patience, the tolerance, and those skills that you are supposed to learn as well, we also have to learn about the terminal stages. And so I'm sure this semester I'm going to do palliative nursing, right? Nursing care or something, palliative care nursing. I don't know, but I know there's palliative in there. So these ones also will help you know the terminal stages. And so when you are caring for this aged, what else do you have to look for? So Doreen Norton, also inculcated that as well in our curriculum, where she added that bit in gerontological nursing, because definitely at that time, there'll be that terminal care in one way or the other, whether you like it or not. When you are placed in there, you will see these kinds of situations or conditions or patients with this terminal illness. Also, we're preparing us in our future. Wherever we are working, we know that, oh, older adults will be a part of our care. For instance, in our part of our world here, we don't really have a specialty, as in a ward just for geriatrics. No, but we have an adult ward where we would have patients mostly from 18 years to so whatever age you'd have to receive the patient. And so in that ward, whether it's a medical ward, whether it's a surgical ward, whether it's a female ward or a male ward, you still would have to have at least one or two elderly in the ward for you to nurse. So it also prepares it as to how to care for these patients. And also the importance of even appropriate rehab. If patient even gets better, you don't just tell, oh, you are discharged, so go home. Definitely you would have to educate patients. If they have to even go and then be with even a support group or something, you would want to educate patients and even family members as to how to go about this. Also, we can never talk about all these things without talking about research, right? So she as well in those days, 1956, then also inculcated this part of research work in geriatrics or gerontological nursing as well in practice, so that there would be research work done on this area as well. Most of us here, you and I know that for research work, you all have this old past research work where you are submitting to your supervisors here and there for us to look through it for you. Are you really getting the knowledge of research work at the basic level so that it will help you when you want to reach the higher level? Are you doing that? Or are you still sitting back and just submitting these old works for your supervisor to mark and give you an A? Well, I'm sure it will never happen. So these are some of the things where Doreen Norton did for gerontological nursing. So it's a specialty now. It's a specialty. So after school, if any one of us want to join that, I'm sure you'd have chances. You can search the internet and see if you can have schools or areas where you can join this practice. Sometimes it's not about even a 2-year program or even a 1. Sometimes you just need the basics. Maybe a 6-month short course, a 3-month short course, and it will add on to your CV. It will add on to your knowledge as well. Taking care of them is quite fun. Somebody even said that the person said his farm is burning. And then later he asked, have you sprayed your farm this? He said, yes. It's quite interesting. Quite interesting when you take care of them as well. Of course, there are theories guiding that. You've learned about theories in nursing. And in all parts of nursing, theories and foundations of nursing practice guide whatever we do for our patients. So with their care as well, there should be a part where we inculcate our theories in nursing. You have learned the theory, the Patricia Bennett, the Dorothy Orems, and then the Florence Nightingale, the Hendersons. They are all there. So we use their parts of the theory or their aspects to take care of these patients. Of course, when COVID also came, it made gerontological nursing also very interesting, because COVID also came with its own challenges, where you see an adult where you want that adult when coming to the hospital, going anywhere, to even wear mask. You can just imagine. My mom, for instance, she would say, I'm suffering even for breathing. Sometimes it's a problem for me. You want me to wear mask? So for geriatrics, these things also came with its own problems with the COVID, when COVID-19 was in era. So that it was quite a challenge for them as well. So that one also broadened the scope of gerontology and then gerontological nursing. So it's fun. Let's try our best if we can join. I'm happy somebody said, Vincent said, I'll do it in the UK. Oh yes, go to UK. That's very interesting. Within 3 months, you are rich. So with the aging population of today, it is very, very necessary that as we nurses, we learn a bit about these basic. So this, what we are going to do for this semester, is the basics of gerontology. Is the basics. So the basics of gerontological nursing and its concepts and principles, and then how we are going to have that knowledge in this our undergrad level, and then how we are going to use that to also take care of our patients. So our course objectives, of course, I have learned that the course code, I would verify, because this outline, I had it from the main school curriculum and I just picked it out. So I'll just check and see if there's any corrections. I'll do that before I send it to you. So we are going to learn about definition of terms, definition of aging, geriatrics, gerontology. There are lots. When you get there, we talk about them. That'll be for next week. And then, yes, so gerontological geriatric nurse, principles guiding gerontological nursing practice, theories of aging, then the myths, the stereotypes about older adults. So I think they are all in the, I don't know whether, yes, I think they were in two folds. So one will be for the introduction where we talk about the definitions and the nursing terms. And then later we talk about the theories of aging, and then we take it from there. Then we have the nurse's attitude towards aging, assessing the needs of older adults, physical, physiological, cognitive, psychosocial changes. We learn about that as well. Changes associated with aging, problems of the aged, management and care of the aged, then health risk, common causes of death in older adults and preventive measures. I think one of these ones are, we'll talk about the midterm and then the end of sem very soon. Right. Drug use and misuse in older adults, that's polypharmacy. And then elder abuse, types, causes, they're also there. And then communicating effectively with older adults. These are what we have for the semester. Of course, continuous assessment is 30%, end of sem is 70%. And the continuous assessment is in splits. We have assignments, we have mid-semester, and then we have our end of semester. These are some books you can read through. I think most of my slides I took most from Patricia Tablowski, current edition. This is quite not a current edition. This is 2012, but I think I took mine in the current edition, 2021 or 22. Yes, for some of my slides or my presentations. So these are the recommended readings as well. If you have any questions to the course outline. Okay.
No, please.
Okay, thank you very much. If there are no questions, then we move on to our assignments and then mid-semester exams. Mid-semester exams and then assignments. So, I'm sharing screen. We would have to do an assignment, write something on some of the things we are supposed to know for the semester. And then for midterm, I want us to also write something and present it. At least that's an automatic score. If only we presented our works, and then if only we really did it well, that'll give us an automatic score. So our assignments, we are going to write short notes on some of the management of the aged, emotional care of the aging population, and then indirect in our course outline, we are supposed to talk about group therapy, role play. These are some of the things they feel that, or the theorists or those in specialties in the gerontological nursing are saying that you do those things for them and then they are quite happy. They are okay. It makes them calmer. So you write under the group therapy, role play, reaction, privacy, and counseling. Counseling also, we know we are nurses, it also adds on. Then social care of the aging, financial support from the NGOs, from the government, and then from the extended family, as well as if you take patient, is it on excursion or anything, whatever. In terms of excursion is quite broad. It's not as narrowed as what we know from the basics as excursion. So we have to also know that and write more about it. Then for the mid-semester, we write short notes on the common causes of death. I think now, even if I ask, some of you can tell me a lot about the causes of death for the aged. So I'm just asking you to just write 5. Just 5. So write about the definition of the cause of death. So if it is, let's say, let me give an example. Let's say 4, for instance. 4, for instance. And so that's what really is it. The incidents, and then what comes with it, the management as nurses, how would we manage it as well? Would there be any medical management to that? And then talk about nursing management. Some of them as well, you can get even a surgical management with that. Let's say in relation to 4, for instance, there can be a surgical management in relation to 4, based on the where you are writing your notes towards. So if you are going to write it in relation to, let's say, a broken bone or a fracture or anything, then there can be that part of management. So you write that. And then our submission will be at the end of the semester. I'll take the 2 assignments, the assignments, and then the mid-semester. You do it individually. I'll take my time and then I'll mark it individually. It wouldn't be in groups. PDF or document printed. Yeah, it has to be printed. It has to be printed. You don't write it. You will print it. But please don't go, if on marking and then I see that you just went and dabbed somebody's work, a whole PDF or a whole, yes, PDF, and they just pasted it. You won't get a full score, please. Let's read more about it and then write more about it as well to get our score and also get our knowledge. This is about knowledge. Sometimes it's not only about scores, but it's about knowledge. I get in it. So I think I've highlighted others here where we say that for other centers to be submitted to the external examiner coming to the various centers for invigilation in the first week, data submission, first weekend of the second, yes. So first weekend, please, not second weekend, not the third weekend, not when we are coming for proposal research defense. It's the first weekend of examination. Then you submit it. Whoever is coming or even the exam officer will get it. Then Kumasi Center, you call a collective submission by the reps to office number 52 on the first Friday of the second semester examination. If you get to that room 52 and you don't get anyone, the place is locked, you can as well send it to the nursing skills lab. But please get to that office first. If you don't get anyone there, then you send it to the nursing skills lab. That's the first Friday of the exams. Please, any questions in relation to this? Okay. Abdul Wahab. Yes, my dear.
Madam, please, concerning the mid-semester examination, I don't understand the last part. You said under the following headings. So which headings are you talking about?
Yes. I typed some headings there. So it means that my deletion, I didn't finish my deletion, right? I'll delete that as well. So these are the headings are what I have just mentioned them out to you. But of course, if you want me to just add on the headings as well, it wouldn't be bad. So that we can all get into a uniform presentation. Yes, I think it wouldn't be bad. I'll still keep it there. I will add it on before I submit it to the page.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Any other questions? Okay. So now we can move on to our end of semester exams. This one I'm throwing it to you. How do you want it?
Objectives.
100
objectives.
100. You don't want 150 again, eh?
For 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Okay, good. 100 objectives for 1 hour.
100 objectives, but it
1
shouldn't
hour,
be too
30
long.
minutes.
The questions sometimes they are too
Simple
long.
100 objectives.
Get the answer.
You know,
100
most
objectives
of
for
you
2 hours.
Hey,
oh, oh, 2 hours. Who said that? You know, most of you here after BSc, I'm sure within after a week or two from you finishing everything, or even okay, let me even say that getting your certificate. Some of you know that you traveled to the UK, you've traveled to the US. And there, I know you are going to learn these kinds of CBTs and NCLESs to write the exams. Would you tell them that, oh, their questions are too long? Most of us, I think some people think that we go, yeah, of course, some of our lectures, some of them go to these online places to take their questions. But some of us also don't do that. But then we still set practical questions. And then at our level, it's practical questions we are supposed to get. It is ushering us into something new. You know, one of my colleagues is doing her Fellowship of West African College of Nursing course. And so in her Viva, she was asked, most of the questions were practical. And then some of the questions were like, you meet this patient on the ward, you meet another patient on this patient. They give about 3 or 4 different types of patients. Who would you attend to first? I'm like, whoa. So she said all this, I just quickly answered. Say, hey, and that's all the choir, like you wouldn't have failed or something. I said, oh, maybe I would have failed in a different way, in maybe a different question they would have asked though, but maybe where I would have had correct would have complemented where maybe I wouldn't have had correct. Just to say that these things is ushering you. Some of us, you are there, I'm not sure you would think of, oh, fellowship, I wouldn't do it. But about a year or two to come, you'd want to do it. And you remember that, oh, I had these type of questions set for me. And then you would be conversant with these questions when you are faced with that in those a year or two to come. So sometimes it's not about, we just want a certificate, but it's about the knowledge you are getting after, within you getting a certificate. So, certificate, they say a paper. It's just a paper. You be given and then you just go and put it somewhere. Or you put it somewhere. Very soon you realize that BSc is even in a way, I'm sorry to say that, but it's nothing. You get it. So it's the knowledge that will help you. And then NMC standard, 60 questions is 45 minutes. Somebody is saying, oh yes, 60 questions is 45 minutes for NMC standard. So when we are giving you the time, sometimes we factor all these things as well. We factor it. So we would agree on, let's say, the 100 questions though, but for the timing, I'll use the standard timing. Okay. I'll see. I wouldn't really decide on the timing now, but I think the 100 will do. At least they are going to complete school. I want you to go in peace, so that some of you wouldn't even curse me. Any question? Do you have anything to say to me? Dora, do you have anything to say to us all? All right. Okay, so I think Calvin.
Hey,
Yes,
please,
Calvin.
about the submission of the assignment and the mission, per your instruction is 10 a.m. Some of us, we are not in Kumasi. By the time we reach Kumasi, it's almost 1, 2. So can you please extend it for us? Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So definitely you would have a bit of practical questions and then more of, this gerontology, we have a lot of definitions. There'll be a lot of definition, of course, and also a lot of management. So it'll be blended. There'll be practical questions and then there'll be definitions to agree whether you would have the A's or the B's or the C's or the D's as your answers. You see, Prince is saying more of practical questions, and that's better because sometimes you can't chew and go and pour. And then, yes, another thing, most of the things that I say in class, immediately we are done, like today, for instance, immediately we are done, I'm going to set at least about 3 or 4 questions. So that is what happens. And then some of you don't come to class. We are about 400. But always 200, 150, 200, 250 comes. And after the day, you say that, oh, the questions are difficult. If you really pay attention in class, you get most of the questions right. So most of the things, I say it a passant when we are in class. And right after class, I go and write about 3 or 4 questions down. So that's it. All right. If there are no questions to whatever we have discussed again today, we can as well go in peace. I'm going to send the slides, the course outline as well as the assignments and midterm onto the page. Next week, we will start real lectures. Thank you very much.